Hi guys and welcome back to Crazy About Kickoff. Today we're talking third round of the FA Cup, our reaction to it and the draw. So John, got to start surely with some of them crazy upsets. What was the maddest upset for you?
I think there's two really. I think you're looking at obviously I think Cambridge Newcastle in terms of the fact that obviously the Newcastle new owners have just come in. Newcastle fans are seeing this as the start of the era. And then you've got a 39-year-old Wes Hoolahan giving them the absolute runaround at Cambridge. And it wasn't even like Newcastle played a weak side. Obviously, Trippier started for them. The midfield was fairly strong. I think Longstaff and Joe Linton started. Like,
As well.
yeah, so they were obviously like keen to progress. But yeah, that one, or maybe Forest Arsenal, just in terms of. Granted, you could argue with two European Cups, Forest are the bigger side still.
And also
But
they beat them the other year in the FA Cup as well, didn't they?
exactly. So maybe
Maybe
it's
that's not
slightly
so much.
less. It's less of a giant killing, but I would with the form Arsenal were in, and the team Arsenal put out. I mean, their attack was looking a bit dangerous when you saw the lineup. But
And also the rest that Arsenal had from not playing that Liverpool game.
well, exactly. So
And they still lost 1-0. So what I mean, God knows why their fans think that we were ducking them or we were scared of them, so we fake COVID and that. But we'll move on. We'll move on from that. So
yeah,
yeah, we'll talk about the Newcastle game first. I think I just want to give a shout out to the Cambridge goalkeeper because oh my God, without him, Newcastle were through basically. I think there was a Jacob Murphy, I think it was, chance where he volleys it and he just gets like the smallest fingertip onto the bar. But when you watch it back, it's an unreal save. And even better than that though, 90+4, last minute, Newcastle whip in the corner. Header looks like for all, think it's going in. And he just pulls off an absolutely unreal save. I'm
yeah. No, I
just
mean, great. It was a great sort of classic FA Cup performance, wasn't it? Like you look at like the Cambridge team, they've got like I think it's Harrison Dunk at left back, Joe Ironside up front, like maybe is it Paul Digby the centre midfielder as well? Like compare it to Arsenal, Newcastle's team, sorry, of the Bravka, Trippier, Share, Shelvey, Longstaff, Fraser, Joe Linton, St Maximin, Murphy. Like it should have been a pretty done and dusted game really. But yeah, all credit to Cambridge.
Nigeria have just scored an absolute worldie, by the way.
That's good
So
for you. It's quick Iheanacho as well.
hey, Salah might be back for the Arsenal game.
Mm.
imagine the fume, that'd be great. And speaking of Arsenal, just they looked lackadaisical. They
Yeah,
let, they, let, they let down my bet as well. So
it wasn't really the Arsenal we've sort of seen recently at all. Really, like look at the side they put out. Like you've got Nketiah, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli as like the front four. You've got Sambi Lakonga. You've got Cedric Suarez, Ben White, Rob Holding, like Nuno Tavares who got hooked after half an hour, I think, or something. Like it's another one where it's just a really good performance from Forest and Steve Cooper's side, who since he's come in for Forest has done a really good job in sort of solidifying them, getting the best out of some of their younger players. So obviously got James Garner on loan from United, who's been playing really well for them. And then they've got Brennan Johnson as well, who was on loan in League One last year, who is looking like an absolute talent at the moment. To be fair for
I
them,
think the right back or the left back, I can't remember. I think his name's Spence, Sutton Spence.
yeah,
He had a quality game. He was absolutely fantastic.
yeah, but it was just it wasn't even like the Cambridge Newcastle game where maybe you could argue on a different day, right? If it isn't for the Cambridge keeper, Newcastle go through. Like Forest were they were fairly good for that win, I'd say. Like it wasn't a sort of backs against the walls, nick something kind of result. I mean, they really did like take it to Arsenal really for a lot of the game. I mean, it's on target. Arsenal didn't have any. They and like it was granted they had not as much possession, but they made the most of the possession they got and took full advantage of it. So, yeah, it was a good result and probably quite annoying if you're an Arsenal fan, considering you're looking at sort of what they could achieve this season. Obviously, they've got a tough Carabao Cup semi-final against Liverpool. They're in a probably fourth horse race for one position in the league. So the FA Cup was probably a good chance for them to get another bit of silverware under Arteta and really like push this young side on. And they've just sort of thrown it away quite nonchalantly, which isn't really what you want from a team that's meant to be progressing and improving.
Especially when all the other big sides go through. We'll talk about that a bit later, though. On to some other upsets. We had the one I thought was possibly the best after Cambridge was probably Kidderminster beating Reading. I mean, we thought once Reading went 1-0 up that it was going to be quite a simple day for the Championship club, but the non-league side put it back through. I've got to say, some bad goalkeeping, to be fair. I think he's unlucky for the winner. He does sort of, the lad ends up sitting on him, and I think VAR is in. Maybe it gets ruled out. But we'll talk about that later as well. Yeah. Got a bit of plan section on that about the VAR in the FA Cup, whether it should or shouldn't be in there, really, because been a point of debate this week. And another one I'll give a shout out for is Barrow beating Wimbledon 2-0. League One, I think, is it Wimbledon? And they're non-league, aren't they? So
yeah, I think it's Bournemouth's first appearance in the fourth round as well as a club. So that's so obviously that's really, really good for them. So yeah, look, I know people like there's a bit of slagging off of the FA Cup really in terms of people don't really give it the credit it deserves, but it's if you look at some of the teams that are still in it in the fourth round, like you've got Kidderminster, you've got Bournemouth, you've got Cambridge, all these sort of sides, like this sort of financial incentive and the sort of general boost it gives to a club is unparalleled. Like you look at teams like Lincoln went on a really good FA Cup run when they were still in non-league, and now they're in League One. Like, and it's not a coincidence that happened, and then since then they've pushed on and progressed. Yeah. Like, it is a really, really big factor in a lot of these clubs progressing and trying to get into the Football League and cementing the place. And obviously the Premier League's a world away in terms of that, but the step from non-league to the Football League is for a lot of clubs just as important as it is for some teams from the Championship to the Premier League. Like, it means everything to clubs.
Yeah, some other important upsets I think we're seeing Hartlepool beat Blackpool 2-1. We've seen Burnley, our favourite team, get knocked out by Huddersfield.
Yeah, if I speak.
Yes, if you speak, Sean Dyche will come on back here.
Yeah.
Everton beating Hull 3-2. I'd call that an upset the way that game went. Like it looked like for all fingers the Hull were going to do it. The first minute goal, and then Everton obviously come back with some impressive play, and then that goal to equalise though. Oh my! And then obviously Townsend's goal was also quite a cracker.
Yeah, Townsend has a habit of scoring some decent goals, doesn't he? He doesn't score many, but when he scores, they're normally
rubbish. 19 games out of 20, and then the 20th game he'll just produce like something like that. And you're like, I wish you could do that a bit more often if you didn't play for Everton. I think also one of the deserves mentions Wigan. I know they're only a division below Blackburn, but Blackburn are flying at the minute in the Championship. I think they were second before coming into the weekend, and the goal to win it was. Did you see it? He cut in on the like a corner and he passed the fella past the corner. First corner, it's the first man comes back to the taker. He passes it to some lad who's next to him. He just takes one touch and just bends it right into the top corner. Beautiful. I mean, it might be a cross, but if it's a cross, it was a bloody good one.
Yeah, we've not even talked about probably one of the best FA Cup games ever, arguably.
What are you going to say? I'm going to come on to that then.
And Barnsley and Barrow, like. You talk about like everything you want in a game, like the red cards, extra time, Barnsley being 2-0 up at half time, the game ending 4-4, like, and then Barnsley winning it in extra time. It's incredible, really.
Some of the goals as well. The free kick to bring Barrow back to 2-1. there was another. I think that there was a screamer there was a screamer for Bristol City to go 3-2 ahead as well to Van Cole, wasn't it? And then I think it was last minute, wasn't it? That Barrow equalised with another screamer.
It was in the 90 pluses. Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, I always recommend you try and find it on YouTube, or you go and download.
I'm sure you.
Match today's on iPlayer actually, so yeah,
you'll be able to find it somewhere. There's highlights on the BB Sports app, so.
Oh yeah, go on after and watch it because oh my god, it was a hell of a game. Now we'll have to talk about the top sides getting through, and I think it was quite easy work for Liverpool, City, and Chelsea, wasn't it? I think all three clubs will be happy with the result, but also the emergence of some very, very talented youngsters. I'll start with Liverpool because obviously it's the club I know the most about, and Kay Gordon. He looks like a player. What a composed. If you didn't know, if there wasn't a number on his back and he didn't have different hairstyles, you would have said that was Mo Salah with that finish. It was just so calm and so composed. But I also want to give a shout out to Conor Bradley, who played right back. Unreal attacking distribution. And all right, he got caught out for the goal. But apart from that, he looked quite solid defensively. I think genuinely Liverpool might get rid of Neco Williams and keep him as the backup right back.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah, fair enough. I've seen Kai Gordon's like, is he the second youngest goal scorer
Something like
Liverpool?
That.
I think he's younger than Michael Owen, and I think there's one person before him.
I think Woodbury might be before him.
Maybe.
So for you, who was that guy who come on? He got the assist, I think.
Well, we'll talk about the Cobham as churning out some great youth products, and fullbacks in particular is an area we seem to excel at. But this guy's sort of gone under the radar with a lot of sort of mainstream Chelsea fans. It's called Lewis Hall. He looks, and I mean the name's a boring name, and he's got quite a boring English look about him. But he's now our youngest ever FA Cup starter. I think he was 17 years and 122 days, and he didn't look like it as well. He looked powerful. He looked quick. He got a good cross away. Got an assist for Lukaku's goal. Like he looked like a really good wing back performance. And look, it's only Chesterfield, but at the moment we're in a bit of a crisis of lack of depth in that particular position. So I think Tuchel will take any sort of positives he can. Like we've already thought about trying to get Emerson back on loan from Lyon, and Lyon have said no. We're thinking about getting Ian Maddison back from Coventry, who's having a good season at Coventry, and maybe it's just a case of playing Lewis Hall and seeing what you can do against some Premier League sides, or maybe even whack him on against Spurs in the second leg of the EFL Cup.
I mean, we got that sorted anyway, so
exactly. It's a training match anyway, so you might as well have.
Yeah,
but exactly. It was easy. It was easy for us. It was an easy game for us.
I think as well with City, but like the likes of Cole Palmer and McAtee as well, looked very, very good.
Cole Palmer, I generally think, is a player. He's honestly a really talented player.
The Champions League, the FA Cup, and I think it's the League Cup as well. Maybe he only hasn't played in I think he only hasn't scored in the Prem, maybe, or something stupid like that. But obviously, he looks like a player. He will score in the Prem. He'll probably score a lot in the Prem as well.
Definitely.
When he inevitably makes the full step up, like Foden, obviously is a key part of the team. I imagine that Cole Palmer will be in the future as well. To be fair,
yeah.
We'll move on though to some very controversial aspects of this FA Cup weekend. VAR. Now we'll start off with the West Ham Leeds game. Now, how that first West Ham goal was not disallowed, I will never know.
Because
lads who get, I think it's Bowen, innit? And he goes to kick the ball. So he's interfered with play, so he's therefore surely offside when the other guy kicks the ball into the net.
Yeah, even when Lanzini puts it in, yeah.
Even if he doesn't get a touch on it, is he not offside? Because Bowen kicks it. Well, Bowen tries to kick it.
Yeah, I've not really had a chance to see it since I think I saw it the first time, but I think we can look at some of the specific games in a bit, but I think one of the overarching problems is like, I get not every club in at this round has access to VAR, but
if no one's got it, if some people haven't got it, then surely no one should have it. Yeah.
right, and that's that's the whole point, right? And then but then I guess the problem is you say you're right, no one has it, but then what happens if you get to like the 5th or 6th round and every club can use it, and then the argument is, well, and then someone gets knocked out and there's a controversial decision, and if VAR was there, it would have got overruled, and then it becomes a whole different issue. So yeah, it is a tough one. I think maybe it's one of them where unique about what they want to do about it, because I think if your club has access to the use of VAR, I think they should just use it and use the technology. And if you don't, you don't. And if anything, it adds to the idea of the cup. Like it's almost then becomes an idea of like playing on a worse pitch, right?
Yeah.
That you lose certain advantages and there's certain things that you're not used to. So like Premier League teams might be used to playing higher lines because they know that the offside call is always going to be better. If you don't have that when you're away to a lower league side, maybe that gives the lower league side a slightly different advantage of if it's all back down to the linesman in human error, and that just becomes another aspect of the FA Cup that maybe gives lower league sides a better chance when they're playing at home.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to look at some of the. I mean, he got the decisions wrong anyway, so I think maybe just take it away. Look at that United one last night. Like,
oh my God,
they shouldn't have went through anyway. Villa should have like put it beyond doubt anyway. It shouldn't even have to come down to a dodgy VAR call. But I think Steven Gerrard's right, and I'm not just saying that because he's like my idol. You know what I mean? But Gerrard's right. It shouldn't take that long to come to a decision, and I think if it does, with this whole clear and obvious mandate, then the decision's clearly not clear and obvious, so you shouldn't be overturning it in the first place.
I think
it wasn't offside, so it's the foul on Cavani, shall we say, on Cavani, which he takes about an hour to spot. No, goal should stand for me. They did a bit too fussy there. They just looked for anything to rule that goal out.
Yeah, it did feel like they were just going through every stage of the goal, going, "Oh, what can we find that maybe isn't?"
Yeah.
And look, I'm sure that isn't like the thought process they're using, but it is a bit ridiculous because then I think it was unclear then from the referee whether they gave it because Concert was in an offside position, and then by interfering with Cavani, then becomes active, or whether it's a foul on Cavani, and that's why it's just given as a free kick. So obviously play stops after that point. But either or, right? Obviously, if the decision that he's become active, even though he isn't going to play the ball, if the referee feels like he's in an offside position and he's interfering with the game, and he's interfered with the passage of play, then maybe there's a case to be. I still don't think it's fair any valid because Conte just stands there, right? And then Cavani runs into him and makes a meal out of it.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It did take a while, and I think part of it was they were trying to establish every different aspect because I think there was a big thing of whether it hit Danny Ings' arm right on the goal line. There was a thing of did Ramsey touch it, and if so, Danny Ings was offside. Obviously, it doesn't look like he touched it, but it was a very, very very close call. So the thing is, I know people are moaning that about VAR taking a long time, but I think if it comes down to it, would you rather? I know this decision you cannot is one where obviously Gerrard and Villa fans would probably say that the decision was wrong. But would you rather, on the whole, that the decisions be right or the decisions are just done quickly? Because I think most people would agree that you'd rather wait an extra minute and the decision be right than have it go quickly, and then when you see it on your phone after the game, you go, hang about, why has he not looked at this? Why is he not taking enough time to look at this? But it's that recency bias thing in football. Like you're never gonna make everyone happy because someone's always going to be aggrieved by something weekend to weekend. So
yeah, I think like as we said the other week, I think people need to put the biases, the tribalism aside, and hold the refs to account. But it won't happen because everyone's just like, well, you've got this, but we didn't get this last week or last bloody Jalemba. Know what I mean? Like, it needs to stop. I think maybe scrap VAR for the FA Cup. As you said, if not every team can have it, then it's given some an unfair advantage, in my opinion, anyway. And it's just, I think we probably should scrap it for the FA Cup. Anyway, we'll move on now to the draw. So, probably the standout tie is probably, I don't know, there's not really one. I don't think actually looking at them now. Everton v Brentford, maybe. Could be a good game. Hopefully, Mbeumo gets another hat-trick. Baller, by the way.
Yeah.
You've got Liverpool have got home tie to Cardiff, pretty easy. Chelsea have got Plymouth at home.
Yeah.
And once again, should be pretty routine. Who's Man City got? They have got Fulham at home again, should be pretty routine. United have got Middlesbrough at home. So you'd like to think all four of them big clubs, well, maybe not like to think, but like for the quality of the competition, they should really be getting through. Bournemouth, Boreham Wood's got a big money spinner away at Bournemouth. Kidderminster also got a big home game against West Ham. Imagine if they'd done that. That'd be pretty impressive.
Yeah, I know.
Hartlepool got a trip to Premier League Crystal Palace. Huddersfield v Barnsley, I think that's an all-championship clash, I think. Peterborough v QPR the same, I think. Cambridge v Luton, so Cambridge probably a bit maybe unsatisfied with that draw. Maybe they.
It depends how you want to look at it. Look, it might give them a chance to go through and play one of the big boys further on in the competition. But
Southampton got Coventry, probably should be a Southampton win, I'd say. Tottenham v Brighton actually could be the standout. It's an all Premier League clash. Brighton aren't that bad. Tottenham struggled to get past Morecambe. We've got to talk about that, but we have now. Mentioned it now. Stoke v Wigan, probably a pretty dull. Reminds you of like a 2011 Premier League game or something.
Yeah. I'm sure Stephen Nzonzi's playing for one of them still or something.
Flashbacks for the bygone era.
Yeah.
You've got Nottingham Forest v Leicester. Maybe Nottingham Forest can slay another Premier League dragon.
Well, if they play like they did against Arsenal, then they
probably can. Yeah,
they could do. Yeah.
One of the most uninspiring games of probably the round is Wolverhampton Wanderers v Norwich. That just screams boring to me. Yeah. Norwich were lucky to get through. We haven't even talked about that Charlton game, but we're so lucky to get through. Charlton battered them and he scored like late, and then Charlton nearly scored an equaliser last minute as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fourth tie that, I mean, none of them are that inspiring. I mean, yeah, Kidderminster, West Ham, I'm sure they'll be quite happy with that and probably be very excited about that. Everton, Brentford could be a decent game. Forest, Leicester, we talked about, could be a decent game. There's not much else really about it.
To be fair, none of the big teams they always just seem to. It's random, isn't it? We say, but they always seem to get each other. Like,
maybe it's one round too early for some of the big hitters to get each other. So.
Next round, you'll probably see at least like if they both get through, you'll get like a Man City, Chelsea, or a Liverpool, Chelsea, whatever.
Yeah, or we normally get, or normally
you or Arsenal, really.
Yeah, you get a tough away tie against someone, don't you? So you get like Leicester away.
This is like the first time, maybe second time in Klopp's era where Liverpool have actually got through to the FA Cup fourth round. He seems to love getting knocked out in the third round.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we'll end it on that note after a good FA Cup weekend. One of the most exciting FA Cup weekends in recent memory, to be fair. I think the magic of the cup is well and truly back, I think you could say, with some of these results this weekend.
Yeah, I think it shows people that for all the naysayers or all the Debbie Downers on it, that it was never really lost it, right? It was never gone, but people like to play this narrative that it has. But look, I think the proof's in the pudding, and maybe after the fourth round, you'll see that all these like stories end, and that's that. But you also might see them keep going into the next round.
When Kidderminster knock out West Ham and Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United all get knocked out as well.
Exactly. You can almost wish it as a fan, because it would be something special.
Sure, they want to have at least one big clash before the FA Cup ends. Like.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
But yeah, that's the end for this week, guys. Thanks for joining in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the video if you disagree or agree with us. And follow us on Twitter @crazy_kickoff, and follow us on Instagram @crazykickoff.